Hi, everyone. For week 2 of Gaming and Narrative, we're going to focus on characterization. Approaches to good characterization, making a fleshed out character in a world, but also some of the purposes of characterization for a narrative and for the player themselves. In our reading this week, Ian Bogost argues that a big purpose of characterization in games is to create empathy for the player, a better understanding of human experience, of individual perspective, and a better appreciation for what people go through and how they are shaped by the world around them. He focuses pretty tightly in one moment on the vignette. He argues, this is on page 22. He says, vignettes are usually meant to give a sense of character rather than advance a narrative. As in a literary sketch, vignettes are impressionistic and poetic, depicting an experience or an environment roughly, softly, and subtly. Thinking about the vignette and the way that that is used in games, this is a big reason why I wanted to make What Remains of Edith Finch our primary game text this week. Now, he wrote this back in 2011, but in the article that we read for this week, he says that the vignette is rare in video games. And when it comes to Edith Finch, I would argue that, a lot of this game is a series of vignettes, but they add up to a greater narrative of Edith, your playing character, discovering who her family is, and by extension, who she is, and how she wants to live her life. Her family has been ostensibly cursed with misfortune, accidents, and early death. And Edith kind of lives with this legacy. At this point, everyone in her family is gone, except for her. But as she goes through this house that she's inherited from her mother, who in turn inherited from her grandmother, Edith pieces together what her lost family members were like, what kind of lives they lived, what sort of deaths they experienced, but also who they were as people and how their experience in this family shaped who they were. This is one of my favorites of the vignettes. This is Edith's grandfather, Sam, who we get to see a little bit of earlier in the playthrough. This is coming about halfway, 2/3 of the way through the playthrough. So we're going into Sam's room now.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
When we look around this room, we get a good sense of who Sam was as a person, what he was interested in especially. What Remains of Edith Finch does a really great job, I think, of environmental storytelling and showing us who these people were through the rooms that they left behind. We can see that Sam was a hunter. We know that he was a photographer. He loved photography. One of the things I love to do going through this house is looking at all the pictures on the wall. And here we can see Sam with his family. Sam was also a soldier. Earlier, you get to see his childhood bedroom that he shared with his twin brother, who the twin brother died as a child. But left on Sam's side of the room, you can see a lot of soldier paraphernalia, soldier magazines, pictures, and you see his acceptance letter to the Marine Corps. And Edith tells us in that moment that when Sam was accepted into the armed forces, he never went back in that room. And the implication is that he didn't come back to the house for a very, very long time. But yeah, Sam joined the armed forces and he left
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
And this is interesting because not too long ago, we got the vignette of another great uncle of Edith's who went out of his way to hide from it, like far out of his way to hide from it. This comment from Edith, it starts to make a lot more sense why Sam was the way that he was. A lot of the family members do try to hide from this, what they see as a curse. But Sam does quite a bit of risk-taking in a lot of ways. Became a soldier, served in combat, does a lot of outdoors things, a lot of hunting. He's very into surviving the elements. Another one of the things that I really like to do when I go through this house is look at the books that everyone has on their bookshelves, because you can tell a lot about the characters by what they have on their bookshelves. Sam has he has a lot of survivalist stuff. The Book of Knots, Red Flag Warning. He has some adventure material. Interestingly, he has Goblins and Ghouls, the roleplay manual, which I guess is a little spin on Dungeons and Dragons here. Let's see, Returning Home, Something That I Can't Read, a survivor story. And that's interesting because I wonder what the story is about trying to survive. Sam experienced a lot of heartbreak in his life. On the one hand, he's very into, survivalism, camping, hunting, all that kind of stuff. Living off the land, living in the outdoors. But on the other hand, it's obvious that he has survived a great bit of loss in his life. And I think it's in the next vignette that we'll find out more about how much he has lost in his life. Even in this bedroom, we can see some clues as to what he lost. If we come over here, we see the box labeled K, and we see an airline ticket. It was apparently addressed to Kay Finch. A is Sam's ex-wife. We don't find out where she went, but looking at the box full of odds and ends of her things, the airline ticket envelope with the missing ticket, and one side of empty drawers. We can see that it looks like Kay left him. Why, we don't know. But then we look at the bed. And one side, probably Kay's side, perfectly made up. The other side that was slept in for a long time, presumably Sam's side, a little bit messier, but it's just on his side. For all of his tough guy kind of hobbies, it feels like there was a lot of emotional pain in his life that he never fully processed, never fully went away from him. There were some losses and some failures that he never quite got over. If we come over here to the little shrine that Edie, the family matriarch, has set up for Sam, she does this in every bedroom for every family member who has passed away. We'll see a little mark of him. These are some of his photographs. So let's take a look. Oops.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Dawn is Edie's
Am I gonna
mother.
have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Whoops.
Not quite.
What?
Here. Now here we get to play Sam, and we get to see the world through his eyes, but he's looking at the world through his camera. And here's his
It's too
here's his
early,
daughter.
Dad.
Yeah. Got it.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
So now we've sort of switched to Dawn's perspective here. Dawn's behind the camera now.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
I find it interesting that Sam loves photography so much. He likes recording his memories.
Side.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you done yet?
Does it sound like... Hey!
That's a keeper.
So while you're playing, you get the experience of being on this trip and recording these memories.
If you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was going to be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Sam likes recording his memories.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago because Calvin
Found an
died when
old
they were
logger
11.
trail. There were deer everywhere. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
No, we can't.
I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
A lot of his memories get mediated through this camera,
Let's see.
where he can take charge of
Maybe.
what memories remain. As we heard, he's also very interested in making sure that Dawn has survival skills. He knows that this world is tough and unpredictable, and his response to that is wanting to teach his daughter how to survive in any situation.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Bird. Ooh, there we go. We'll figure it out. Here. Majestic.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
Poor Dawn. I mean, I understand that, like, he wants her to be tough. It's a hard thing to ask of a kid, though.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
I hate this part. And yeah, I understand where Sam is coming from, but man, as someone who identifies more with Dawn here, this is a painful moment.
Great shot, Don. I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Now we walk up here.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Oops. All right, we have to get up there before the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad! Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
And that, I think, is an interesting epilogue to that vignette. And it's a good way of tying it back into Edith's development over the course of this game. That this was the story that she wishes her mom had told her. The story about Edith's grandfather, her mother's father, and her mother's experience losing her father like that. Edith doesn't elaborate, so we never find out her reasons for why she wanted to hear that story from her mother the most. It's left for us to figure it out. Yeah, Mr. Beaton talks about the importance of making characters, not so much an easy plot device, but but people who feel fully fleshed out and who feel like natural extensions of the setting. And with Sam, I think the game does a really good job of making him a natural extension of the setting and putting a spin on that also makes Sam as an individual. He doesn't hide from death. He doesn't hide from the family curse per se. If anything, he rushes out to challenge death in a lot of his pursuits in life. But it's also something that he fears when it comes to his family. He's perfectly happy rushing out to challenge death, but he wants to make sure that his family is well equipped to survive. So, here's our brief discussion of characterization as it pertains to our primary text. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.